I really didn't want to do this live or anything like that. I wanted to react, and then we'll go live later on today. But there's a certain way in which we handle things, in which we don't handle things, and it looks like it's over. It just does. It looks like it is over for the gang, the guys, the niggas from the O. It just looked like it because the evidence just popped out today. Well, technically yesterday. And man, we got to realize to the youth, you may think nobody's watching, but everybody's watching. One of the worst things that we do, the cats that grew up in the hood, is we think we so much more smarter, we have more intellect, we're more intelligent, that we can just get away with things. And I'm here to tell you, the shit is over. Once Spot Shotter came out, bro, that's it. Do y'all realize they have grids to determine where in which you went so that they can go ahead and roll footage from certain places? Do y'all realize a lot of these rewards, well, I won't say a lot, but about, I believe the number is 35% of the rewards for all these killings and all that, when they say give up information, it be store owners that just so happen to have a nice camera that's filming everything? When the youngins don't realize this, and the police realize this, we ain't playing the same game. Y'all playing marbles, the police playing bowling, and they are professional. Bruh, this about to get ugly. Run my intro, please, because I'm about to read this. It's your favorite local, especially after I done spoke. Support the real again. Get rid of the fake, the F you to the industry. How do you fight back? It's simple. All you got to do is just press subscribe, then join the movement over there on Instagram at CEDDYNASH, one word. That's where you and I can stay in contact. Plus, I'm going to personally follow you back, like your pictures and all that. To the crew, that's the truth. What up with the visionaries? I want all you rappers to pay attention. I know it's a lot of rappers who listen and watch this YouTube channel. And one thing I'm going to tell y'all is the reason why I don't do diss tracks and none of that, and you don't see me in none of these videos and everything like that, where these cats get to disrespecting the dead and all that, is because I know what's coming next afterwards. And this ain't nothing but further proof. 15 seconds of mayhem on Gold Coast. FBI affidavit lifts curtain on FBG Duck murder case. Now, this where it gets crazy. But, let's be honest, not really. It's what we suspected, but we needed physical proof to even say. The document lays out key evidence that led to last year's indictment against 5 alleged Oblock street gang members now accused in the brazen killing. It also points to so-called diss tracks which have fueled street violence. The broad daylight Gold Coast murder of rapper FBG Duck in August 2020 involved 4 mass shooters who left 38 bullet casings behind following an attack that lasted all of 15 seconds. According to a newly unsealed federal court record, much of what happened that day at the murder scene on Oak Street and elsewhere as the gunman neared was captured on video. According to a 45-page document, which includes an FBI affidavit, it lays out key evidence that led to last year's indictment against 5 alleged Oblock street gang members now accused in a brazen killing. It says investigators told a car used in the shooting one day after it happened, later searched it and found evidence that implicated Charles C. Murder Liggins. The document also points to so-called diss tracks, the songs posted online in which street gang members disrespect rivals, fueling violence on the streets. The document, a search warrant application originally filed October 1st, was unsealed earlier this month. It sought a judge's permission to examine phone data associated with Liggins, as well as Marcus Muab Smart and Takalos Alfred. All 3 will be charged in an indictment filed September 30th, which also named Kenneth Robertson and Christopher C. Thang Thomas as defendants. The indictment was unsealed October 13th. FBG Duck, whose real name was Carlton Weekly, is identified in the document as a member of the STL, EBT, or Tukaville faction of the Gangster Disciples, which it had feuded with Oblock, a faction of the Black Disciples. Weekly was killed at 4:26 p.m. on August 4th, 2020. According to the affidavit, 16 minutes earlier on Oak Street, it said Weekly got out of the car, driven by his girlfriend, and stood in line outside. Weekly's mother has said he was shopping for presents for his son. Around the same time, surveillance footage showed Liggins, Smart, and others running down a stairwell at Parkway Gardens at 63rd and Martin Luther King Drive. Bruh. Let me reread that real quick. Around the same time, that means somebody called and said, hey, that nigga out here. Around the same time, surveillance footage showed Liggins, Smart, and others running down the stairwell at Parkway Gardens at 63rd and Martin Luther King Drive. Y'all know where that's at. According to the affidavit, it says Smart and another person got into a Ford Fusion owned by Alfred. Y'all seen the getaway car. We had the footage. It says Smart and another person got into a Ford Fusion owned by Alfred. The FBI believe Liggins got into a Chrysler 300 with two others. From there, investigators were able to trace the vehicle's pathway from Parkway Gardens to the scene of the murder. Once again, the grid. It ain't nothing for a GPS. All you got to do is take it off a street view. Bruh, this is ugly. Using video surveillance and police POD cameras around the time Weekly got out of the car on Oak Street, the feds say the Fusion and Chrysler were seen traveling in the same direction in the 6200 block of South Wentworth. Just 5 seconds apart, the vehicles were spotted on camera and at the last 7 additional locations. The document then lays out what happened at 426 in the first block of East Oak Street. The Fusion and Chrysler stopped just in front of the dark-colored sedan that had been driven by Weekly's girlfriend. 2 people jumped out of the passenger side of the Fusion, opened fire at Weekly, who ducked with another person behind his girlfriend's car. Day-Day. Where Day-Day at? 2 people then also got out of the passenger side of the Chrysler. 1, the front passenger, opened fire on Weekly's girlfriend, while the other fired at Weekly. The shooters then got back into the Fusion and the Chrysler and fled. According to the affidavit, it said Weekly's girlfriend was shot twice in the left wrist. The person who ducked behind the car with Weekly was shot 3 times and was left in critical condition, according to the feds. Why ain't y'all saying that name? Just curious. All right. Weekly died shortly after the shooting because they panicked. They should have put him in the car. He would still be here. I believe that. I believe that if they would have put him in the car, that man was fighting for his life. He was fighting to be here. Weekly died shortly after the shooting, the feds say, but it's unclear how many times he was shot. The FBI special agent who authored the affidavit wrote that Weekly was shot approximately 21 times, but the agent also cited a Cook County medical examiner's report that said Weekly was shot 16 times. 38 cartridge casings were found at the scene, including 1 .357 caliber casing. Meanwhile, the Chrysler was then spotted on police cameras in 8 additional locations before surveillance videos showed it returning to Parkway Gardens. These niggas pulled right back up. They pulled right back up. The video shows Liggins getting out of the passenger seat, according to the affidavit. They got you niggas getting out of the car. Bruh, you ever seen an alley-oop? It look easy, don't it? This look like a goddamn alley-oop right here. The day after Weekly's killing, Chicago police found the Chrysler in the 2100 block of Gunderson in Berwyn. and towed it. The document says, when it was searched August 13, 2020, investigators allegedly found a handwritten note that appeared to list Liggins' Facebook and Instagram accounts as well as phone numbers for Liggins and BM, which the FBI took to mean baby mama. The FBI agent wrote that investigators also found a spent .357 caliber cartridge casing between the Chrysler's windshield and hood. An examination of that casings and the one found at the scene of Weekly's murder showed that they were consistent with being fired from the same firearm. The police have previously said Weekly's shooting might have been motivated by derogatory statements towards deceased members of the Black Disciples and made by Weekly on social media. The FBI affidavit points to multiple online videos, including a July 2020 YouTube rap video in which Weekly performed as FBG Duck. Said I wasn't gonna diss the dick. Okay, I did it. But nigga, fuck. I ain't saying the rest of that shit. Weekly said the agent wrote Weekly mentions in derogatory manners 9 names, aliases, and or monikers of deceased individuals, all believed to be Black Disciples. Among them was O.D. Perry, who was shot and killed in 2011 at age 20 and is the namesake for Oblock, according to the affidavit. Perry's killing has sparked a series of retaliation shootings, including 2024 murder of K.I., basically, who police say was a female assassin for the Gangster Disciples faction in the neighborhood. In a separate video posted the day after Weekly's murder, Davon Bennett, the rapper known as King Von, could be seen rapping, Oblock, OTF 300, bitches check. This nigga said he throwing shots. I bet he catch him back. Sorry, I fucked that one up. My bad. I was trying to get my King Von shit going. Y'all say I got my dreads copying King Von. Nah, it's just, I like the look. But yeah, I can't channel my King Von and shit. I gotta start punching shit in. He wore expensive shit. I ain't got King Von money. I ain't gonna hold you. That nigga had like a 2,000 pair of shoes. He just handed a nigga. I ain't never doing that. I don't care how rich I get. Which Bennett wrote an Oblock medallion in the video. Wore an Oblock medallion in the video. Investigators took the verse as a reference to negative repercussions coming to Weekly as a result of Weekly's disrespect. In another video, the feds noted that Weekly had talked about being childhood friends with Shondell Tuka Gregory, who was shot and killed in 2011 at age 15. That's why I go crazy when a motherfucker mentions his name, you feel me? Because motherfuckers don't know. That's like, this shit's bigger than what them niggas is saying in their songs, you feel me? Weekly said, Liggins, 30, has a history of violent encounters with the police near Parkway Gardens. He was arrested in July 2019 for shoving a police officer near 64th and Martin Luther King. Officers had responded to a call of a person with a gun when a crowd formed and Liggins refused to leave. According to a police report, he pleaded guilty to resisting arrest and was sentenced to a year in prison. Just for pushing a fucking cop, you get a year? Nigga, I'm hitting a spin move next time I see a police officer. Fuck that. In October 2009, officers working on a drug investigation said they saw Liggins fire at a group of men near 63rd and Martin Luther King. The officers ordered him to drop his gun, but he pointed it at him and shot him in the... wait. The officers ordered him to drop his gun, but he pointed it at them. They shot him in the leg. According to a police report, he pleaded guilty to aggravated assault of an officer with a firearm and was sentenced to 18 months in prison. Liggins' co-defendant, Robertson, 28, is separately charged in the Cook County Criminal Court with the January 30th, 2021 fatal shooting of Lorenzo Moore in Dalton. At the time of the killing, Robertson was free on bail on a Cook County gun possession charge. I'm pretty sure when the feds took this case over and they got all this information, they started doing like this, started throwing up, and then they started playing Takeover by Jay-Z. This is it. That's a wrap, cuz. I know we supposed to say allegedly and blah, 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 and everything like that. Yeah, cuz I get it. But let's just be fair and let's just be honest. If we wanted to lie about shit, then we would say everything's gonna be all right. Yeah, we would say that. But let's be fair and let's be honest. If this all holds up in court, if it all holds up in court, y'all might as well put them niggas on shirts, put them on songs, and yell, free these motherfuckers, because it's over. Don't go past go. None of that shit. Don't collect your $200. No, it's a wrap, bro. The technology, just the technology alone, puts you behind the 8 ball at all times. They're actively trying to gentrify Chicago, bro. Actively. It ain't no fucking secret. Then on top of that, we're eradicating our own. Blacks is the biggest reason for blacks being deceased. Fuck the police. Fuck these viruses. Fuck the government. Us. If you seen a motherfucker that look like me bandanaed out in any part of the country, I don't give a fuck what color he rocking, what flags he throwing, anything. Just look like me. Tattoos, dreads. It's gonna look bad, and you gonna stereotype that motherfucker. Because what? Because our predecessors. Because the motherfuckers who've been doing this shit. And it's a fucking shame that we gotta look at other black men that look like us as a potential fucking threat when we should be comfortable. I'll see you at the live tonight. We'll drop a couple more videos, but what y'all think? Y'all think it's over? Because I certainly do. Y'all expect me to keep it real? Because you know that I will. I do this daily, baby. Check out the Nightly Nash podcast. Also, stream the music Steady Nash if you have not. It's on all streaming platforms. Guaranteed you're going to find something you like. Probably like that overly thugging freestyle, or maybe something different. Let me know in the comments. We possibly shoot that music video.